Alright, this video is gonna have 10,000 claims because I'm gonna go insane if I don't have my own music.
new gen people that are continuously getting into the game, I bet there's a lot of people that have no idea who I am.
I mean,
That would shock
honestly, yeah, especially in 2.2, like the amount of
No,
At least it's
nothing crazy special. But no, like I went on another trip earlier in the year anyways, like a kind of a fun trip. I always try to go to Canada once a year to visit family. Because we also might move back there someday, right?
Ooh,
So I was just kind of like getting him a feel for Canada and stuff, and he loves it. You know, it's way more open than Korea than
which
Canada is.
province
So
are you in?
in Canada, me too. Vancouver's my favorite city in the world, and I would absolutely just give up everything and live there if it wasn't like also one of the most out of living there and like barely scrape by for like the standard that I want to live, you know. But like, why would I do that, you know?
You should
I could just
vlog
move
it.
into my home city.
That'd be cool. You should vlog it.
Another channel that just does like real life.
I'm guessing that's
Yeah.
why your like 3 other channels have gone inactive, because I was looking earlier. I'm guessing it's just because like it's just the money isn't there right now, and you gotta support yourself. Because now you've jumped in. Because I watched some of Lol Show's episode on you just to get a feel for what we're gonna talk about, and you quit working, and now you're working full time on YouTube. So I bet now it's like now you're in this for sure.
I actually made a pretty risky move, moving time on YouTube since 2015. So I guess we might be jumping the gun a little bit talking about my past, but from 2010 to 2015, I was an English teacher in Korea full time, and I was doing a lot of games. Inspired me a lot because I was like, cool, I want to go just play. So I started doing that as a hobby. Making okay money, you know, it was like $1,000 in 2011, and she wasn't gonna move, so I wanted to stay with her in the city, but I couldn't if I was gonna have to take this new teaching job. They were gonna force me to. So I was really pissed off at that, and I was like, well, what if I just quit full-time on YouTube? But I'd have done like part-time teaching gigs,
really?
like in the meantime. But I have done the
Time I lost interest, but his story time videos were mildly interesting to me at the time. I think they were still pretty good. But
yeah, I agree, man. And honestly, I did too, because as a YouTuber, I was trying to like see what was popular and stuff. And I used to watch like some of them, and he hit a point where he was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, ones that works at like a nuclear power plant, and like all this stuff. And I'm like, it's so interesting. And I feel like I feel like your guys' life has a lot more purpose than mine does, because I feel like you guys are contributing to society in a lot bigger of a way than I am. But then it's the grass is always greener thing, where people, they'll tell me, they go, what the fuck are you talking about? We would kill to do what you do,
Yeah.
you know? Like, unbelievable you would say that in ways that I don't really expect. So, but yeah, like, I don't know, man. Grass is always greener for sure. Sure.
And you work in your own hours and everything, so it's
On the
yeah,
contrary.
I think I get your point. Like, as in, a lot of those jobs have novelty.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not like
When we do something, this is just kind of psychological. I feel like it's because when you do something for long enough, it becomes your new normal. And so, like, when people hear that, like, you do YouTube, it's like, that sounds amazing. But we've been doing it so long, we're so used to it. It's like, what? It's like the right.
Heck is, I've always thought of this job as a YouTube review sports cars and some like videos are insane, but like as just like a gaming YouTuber.
profession. It's just, you know, maybe you didn't study in a field school for it or whatever. But I don't think that diminishes.
The opposite, where I have what's the opposite of having an ego, where I like maybe.
Like,
Oh God.
Have you heard that
Man,
before?
as a teenager, I haven't heard it, but like hearing it, I'm like, yeah. That would be like when I was a teenager. I'd just be lying in my bed.
I thought of it in my first few years of uni, but that's literally what I do now, where right before my exam, I
Do
just
that, and I took very high, really well in exams and stuff because it's still fresh in your head, right?
exactly, yeah, and it's been helping as well.
I know someone who did that in process every day, for every week, for every month, and I was,
I'll just like
Yeah.
just up at home and do it. So I mean, as long as I feel like it's mostly just as long as you can dedicate yourself to a certain level, like you'll be able to find something. You don't need the kind of money. And that guy, like on 1,000 views, is getting like, God, something like, well, maybe not 20 times. I actually get pretty good RPMs for some reason. YouTube likes my channel, for a gaming content creator because they deem it like a safe kind of family friendly, but not directed directly to kids. Actually, I'm in a pretty sweet place. Like I've talked to other Geometresh YouTubers and my RPMs are like way beyond what a lot of their
I mean, mine's like what 50 cents, so
yeah. It's different when you make short form videos though.
It's not like what you do where you actually got a face and like
videos on average 20 minutes, right? I just released a 4-hour SCP video. So,
oh man, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I've been freed. The shackles have came off my wrists. But you're right though. Short form content. Is there even like any money in that? I guess if you make.
Yes, if we're talking about money, drop it. The world's hardest job.
But I'll be right back. I got 3 hours to make one. Dude, I have to tap into this. What?
Yeah.
Hello?
Was it? No, dude. The most I made was
as any race really, and if you speak well enough English, like people wouldn't know if you're American stuff.
That was military
service
service in and of itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't been artificial. You don't know what true pain is like.
Yeah. Duh, right? Or like there'll be some sort of military like desk job that they do. They don't just like throw those like super popular guys into the military because they want to like protect them in a way. So they have much easier time. They do still have to do their military service, but they do get like easier, more relaxed jobs.
Oh, right.
Dude, I had a friend who recently went to Korea.
Well, there's convenience.
Just like, yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
He came back to where he lived, and he was like, dude, this place is a shithole, man.
Of coming here and being like, oh my god, everything is wonderful and amazing, it's so different, this is the best thing in the world, like I love this.
Or just like the infatuation.
Yeah, absolute infatuation, and like nothing could be wrong with this. And big thing of like showing off in Korea, like, okay, look at what I have, you know. So a lot of the Korean teachers really liked us, and the people that worked at the school, like we actually did a really good job. We made the entire program when we went there. A little aside, we built building. You have 2 weeks until the first group of kids come. Make an entire week-long program. Go. I was like, what? I've never been a teacher before. I thought you were just gonna give me a textbook and I was gonna like teach stuff, you know. I wasn't ready for this, and so we had to make like this entire like week-long camp, like starting from like 8 a.m. to like 9 p.m. at night, feeling like education in a kind of smaller city we lived in, like 200,000 people, not like super tiny, not big, but this guy was like this bigger dude who's like, I like you guys, you have to come out and eat meals with me. And like the girl that we worked with, he was like, and you must sit beside me because you're pretty, you know. So we called him Jabba the Hutt because he always forced her to sit beside him. And like, but anyways, like they will just a lot of those like older Korean dudes, they don't really care about you, but they just parade you to like show you off. Like, oh, look at our like that happens, like unrealistic expectations of people and things like that. What the hell am I doing here? So that's like the second phase, you know. There's phase number 1, which is this is amazing. Phase number 2, I've learned some things. What the hell am I doing here? I don't like certain things, and this might be a deal breaker. And like usually a lot of foreigners leave at that phase. And then phase number 3 is like acceptance. It's like, oh, okay, there's
get comfortable with it.
For sure. And honestly, my life here has been nothing but pretty easy, I guess. And I was me and my kid, we go get our haircut every 2 months, and he asked me like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, Canada, you know, it's nice to be here. I was like, okay, so you like your life here more in South Korea? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, but South Korea is not an easy country to live in. I'm driving a BMW. I'm really well off, but then like their life outside of that, they're like, oh, but I gotta eat cup noodles every night and I can't afford my cable TV. Yeah, it's like, you know, for me, I'm just like, yeah, you deserve it. Your life was so shit for so long. Enjoy that BMW. Because they want the North Korean people in South Korea, they want them to be under them. If they ever like overachieve, then it's like, oh, these people are shitty and the government gave them too much, right?
Jesus,
it's very strange. Yeah.
Egos I've ever heard.
For sure. Crazy. Yeah, it's kind of petty, and that's not like, don't get me wrong, it's not everyone here super nice and not all about that. It's just the problem is there is a bit of a comparison, but he just was infatuated with my story, like being on YouTube, and he's the kind of person that will kind of bring you up, you know. Oh, I'll help you with that, you know. And like, but I find like when it comes to sort of like style and we were, dude, so this is an aside, but Japan, I love traveling Japan because Japan and Korea have a lot of similarities, but there's a lot of differences, tons of differences. So we went to like this, and then like, you know, usually in those bars, there's just regulars. There's people that are there like great night, because a lot of those people that are at this bar like just came alone. And they just wanted to come find people to like talk with and like drink and stuff. It's completely different, and I love that kind of culture in Japan where you can just like go have a great. I nerd out hard in Japan. Oh no, you go on. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Don't they have like you know how there's weebs in the West that are like, holy shit, location Japan? Aren't there?
This is like. I'll just type it. I'll put it out to you, Blue. There it is. Or I guess I could have put it on the Dasher podcast thing. Yeah.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
Yeah, it's the color and everything.
Dude, yeah. Oh my god.
It's like someone like filled up a condom with water or something.
The thing is, if you like meat, Korea is like, there's so much as you can eat in this little buffet. So shabu shabu is really good. You know, I don't gotta mention how good Korean barbecue. You can get like beef with like beef sauce, like all
those are
cooked,
so
like,
good.
kind of like thin beef. King scissors, by the way, which are very convenient, and everyone always laughs when they're like, "What do you use to cut meat with?" I'm like, "Scissors." They're like, "Haha, use a knife, bro." I'm like,
OP.
they are. They're so convenient. Like you can literally hold it with like, and you can mix other vegetables in there. Usually like slice like green onion or onion, and put like a little piece of garlic in, and then it's delicious, man. I actually. My wife and my kid it's a Korean holiday now. It's Chuseok, which is like a big 3-day long holiday. And they went to visit their family, like in Cheongju, where I used to live. And I was like, well, I got work to do because I had gone to Canada for 3 weeks, which is kind of amazing after you've, you know, taken care of a family for a long time. When you get alone time, you're like, oh my God, all by myself, this feels so weird. So I'm living the dream. So yesterday I cooked like my own Korean barbecue in the living room, and I was watching Netflix, and it was just it was bliss, man. It was great.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, Korean barbecue's a big thing over here as well. Like,
it is, yeah. Korean spice it's a little different powder that's used for Korean powder, and it's very.
I remember eating bird's eye chili, right? Which, and the Scoville should be way less spicy. But I think it might be to do with the flavor or something, but when I ate it, it felt so much worse. I think it's also because with the ghost pepper, it's more of like a gradual increase rather than like a sudden spike. But I think it's like the fact that it didn't have, like it had a really bitter flavor. It somehow like accentuated the spiciness of it, and I actually like reacted way more to that than to the ghost pepper.
Yeah.
So I think that might be related to it.
yeah, I get maybe old easier in your mouth. I'm not a food expert.
Well, Jason. So even if it's like lower Scoville.
And yeah, I just had a flake and I was like, well, that's actually enough for me. So.
That's the thing about Korean spice too, is when I first came here, I was getting my ass kicked like so much. I couldn't handle it, and we'd all eat lunch. And then we'd take turns taking like a big shit in the staff washer and be like, who's first today? I was like, oh, no, it's an emergency for me. I really gotta go. And like, we just take, you got this. You're not gonna let your cute little girlfriend, you get a bad one. And yeah, a lot of seeds and stuff. And so sometimes I'll still like eat one that's just lying down and stuff. So anyways, before I answer that though, like just different, it wasn't very long either. It was just like a bit short. And anyways, crazy. Sure. But anyways, I didn't think much of it. So dumb. I just took it and I ate the whole thing. And I devoured it. And I was like, first like 5 minutes, I was like, bro, I did it. It's super spicy. I'm kind of laughing. Oh, it's spicy. And then like the next hour, I was just like, with like water. And I skipped my classes the rest exhausted when it finally like wore off like 2.5 hours later. That I just passed right out. Like it was...
I eat it when I ate it.
Yeah, it looked like that kind of third one, where it's kind of like just like a little like not.
Is this deadly?
Yeah, it was absolutely deadly. So by the way, we got to talk about it at one point, just because I know I've already seen it mentioned like.
Oh yeah, we got this.
Times.
Yeah.
So the N boat. Like, there was no filter on names at that time on the internet. Like, there wasn't any like sort of censorship of names or anything. A lot of videos I made were a lot of like single player experiences, and so there was never really many situations where I was playing an online game. So because of that, there was never a situation where like I'd have like another interaction with a user that would cause a mishap like that. You know, a lot of games I was playing were like single player horror games, visual novels, Geometry Dash, Mario Maker. And so because of that, there's never a time where I would be in a situation where I'd like drop a slur like that, like reading someone else's name. Like very rarely did I play online games. See it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, no, I've been demonetized before, I think, but like.
But that isn't. Earthbound's not really 3D though. That's like
yeah.
2D.
Oh,
I mean, like
it's
it like has,
isometric
you know
2D.
what I mean, right?
So gaming has always been like, I guess I'm gonna talk a lot about mind-blowing, you know, this is crazy. So a whole lot more pixels gaming still, and people used to come over to watch me beat gaming, but it's then when I got into RPG gaming, JRPG gaming, into games like there are some older JRPGs that haven't aged as well. Some like Secret of Mana, where like imagine playing Chrono Trigger for the first time when like that was like the pinnacle of graphics. RPG games. So in some years, my desk was actually like outside the classroom in the hallway because I was just so bored in school. I would bring, back in the day before the internet was pop, especially for Final Fantasy VII, I had this big strategy guide and I was like strategizing how to beat the optional bosses, Emerald and Ruby weapon. And I would just sit outside, like I'd get kicked out because it was all like fully text, right? It brought me up because it's funny how your brain can help you learn something when you really have like a reason, like or ask my parents, like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Just figuring out how to go.
Gaming on Nintendo back in the day was, a lot of people look at Nintendo games now, like on the Nintendo Switch, and they go, man, kid friendly, pretty easy games. Just, you can pick up and play and have fun, and it's haha, great times, you know? It's just fun for the whole family. Nintendo games back in the day, holy shit!
Yeah.
Like, you
I guess where like the older ones, I wouldn't say the older Pokemon games were really hard, but like.
Okay, and you can still get all the achievements in the game from using save states. Like they don't even like cancel it. You can just beat the game and like save state your way through. So even with that, like, yeah, gaming is definitely more accessible, but I understand why they do it to do it. It's good for gaming because there are a lot of people that aren't as capable and they can still enjoy those games.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I know.
Who do you think has the name Eric Van Wilden?
You gotta make a Let's Play now.
Yeah, I should. Like... Well, hard mode is like, there are a lot of people that are shitty about it, Colin, like that, like hard mode is mentally challenged, but like that doesn't, that comes out way wrong.
Whoa, what did I need
to feel, because I don't have much time as a parent. I just want to play through hard mode first playthrough. Because like the Yakuza games, like that's bullshit. Like, let me just adjust the game. Just like how I think games should be accessible and people should be able to, you need to just be good and know everything. Slay the Spire, I'm pretty good at Slay the Spire.
People are mentioning 50-20.
Oh yeah, 50-20 mode in the Ultimate Custom Night.
Yeah,
actually
that is crazy.
50-50 is a GD player. The name is Shooter25.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I think they're the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, in the comments.
First.
Shooter.
Yeah, no, yeah. I didn't even know there was a 50-50 mode. Okay, yeah. Cool.
I wonder what that's equivalent to in GD.
Night is like, you can do things perfectly and still lose.
Yeah.
You can have everything on point, but like, oh, your RNG got messed up.
Yeah.
We are only 30% through the written material. We don't have to do it all. It's just what we wrote in anticipation, but that's insane.
Yeah, please, bro. It's too late.
Never gonna be perfect. Even in its current state, it's not perfect, right? Even if ours is no, it's okay. I actually think things that they shouldn't be. But things about levels, there are certain people that are good at certain things, but I don't. And a lot of people were all because like this level shouldn't feel as hard as it does, but it does feel hard because I'm good at the shit, but I'm not good at other of my other skills up to on par with my wave skill. So like you could use.
Is there 1,000 extreme demons now? Like literally 1,000? I think with what does exist right now. I
just getting really crowded at the top.
Demons would be good enough with decimals. And I think that what I can do is I can play all these other demons where, you know, there is the GD ladder website by like, okay, I want to find in extreme. So like even in their demon difficulties, it'd be nice for people to plan their route in game through insane fun factor of the game if you're at the level where you're beating demons, you know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're like melded
Like-
together a little bit.
Yeah, especially
So
the
I feel
harder
like-
the extreme and an easy demon. So like within
Hmm.
one tier of difficulty, these outside sources and stuff, like a numerical value
Yeah.
for the difficulty, and then whenever the community gets better, they just 25 to 25.5 or whatever. Missing a bit of stuff like levels that were considered extreme are like, okay, well,
See, like if it was the thing, I don't think it'd be a big pain because I don't think we'd have to add another demon difficulty after. Just
Yeah.
because like, you know, extreme demon has worked up until.
I mean, even without hindsight, I think to grow, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, I think practice each one till you do it perfectly. Like,
Sure.
you could just
Insane,
break
yeah.
everything into chunks. I mean, that's what they were doing for being like Sukupen circles. They broke it down into chunks originally.
Cool. Pinnacle demon. Some of them are really stupid.
An
though.
Everest.
IMAX demon. That would be so memed.
Yeah, yeah. What's your hardest climax demon?
Stream
No,
is in.
I would just use impossible. I feel like that's the slang we have for really hard levels now.
Sure,
Radical
but impossible
demon.
kind of don't dictates
Yeah,
that this level
Yeah.
isn't possible at all, though. So
It would be
Dream
contradictory.
demon?
Radical demon.
Dream demon.
Oh wait, Hell Demon. You know the Alex Payne one.
Hell demon.
there you go.
Yep.
I think that's
Yeah,
well. They're from these demons are from like
I mean, if you're playing
Hell,
Cataclysm
so it wouldn't work. This is a legendary demon.
there. I just gotta go through the
Sounds
list
like
of
a
all the
double.
Terraria. What is it? Fuck, what's the word? Oh, the Tinkers.
Silent Demon is the best.
I mean, Silent is good. Yeah, this is what I mean.
Yeah,
Like, you just gotta go to Rob's and be like, okay, we need a brainstorm.
Okay.
They didn't make a channel
Yeah.
in mod chat right now called like ideas. It's like, all right, we gotta put our heads together right now.
That's why we need to have it so just Rob Top can tags in, because if we have custom tags, you're totally gonna get tagged like furry porn and stuff like that. I think a lot of people think he's not, but he does quite a lot of work on the game to keep it alive, and I think we
A little more
It's just
understanding of
one
like,
guy.
this is one dev doing all of this shit. Granted, he has all the help from all these people, but still.
like what 2.2 is even capable of. There's a lot to like kind of hold us over until some of these things happen. And don't get me wrong, like I bought a really nice computer to be able to stream games and stuff and other games too. And I'm like, why can't
Yeah,
Also
even if there's like certain elements of it that you really liked, and you know they were kind of
Yeah.
improvised. When you try to do them again, it feels so forced and artificial, and you're like not satisfied with it.
Yeah.
I think the new episode actually ended up better, which I was happy for. But a lot of the topics I wanted to talk, or that I brought up in the original one, you know, it is really frustrating when you like lose.
for the mic and the XLR I bought together on Amazon was, I don't think I bought the XLR like right when it came out, so I think the total cost for both was like, it's like $1,000 for the whole setup.
Jesus. I know the mic is
Yeah.
like 400, right? That's how much I got mine for. Because I'm using a, I don't know how many different audio interfaces like you're knowledgeable about, but I used to have a Behringer X1204, which is like a massive 6-channel mixer. And I
Oh
didn't
yeah, no,
need that
I
'cause
don't
it
know
was way
audio
too big.
very well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I switched down to a 2-channel one that's kind of tiny. It's probably the same size as yours. It just sits over where it needs to and doesn't take up too much space, and it's fine. You know, you can adjust
Great.
it. You know this, it's fun. Audio's fun.
Well, it can
dude,
be, yeah. So I'm not a big audio guy, so for me, the big thing for me is I wanted something that was simple and worked really well. So that was the Go XLR was like absolutely. Spent a long time. Spent one day just like a few hours setting it up to the exact level that I wanted it to set up, and I haven't had to switch anything since. You know.
That's nice,
so,
yeah.
it's
I've
convenient.
had my fair share of problems. My old mixer, I should have bought a cloud lifter because there was a lot of static and like electromagnetic interference. And so my solution was actually kind of clever. What I ended up doing was I turned the mic up more, but in Windows, Speaking of adding stuff to the game, I know you probably made a video on it and stuff, but what's your stance on click between frames for a while? But I just want to hear it.
Yeah, well, the thing is I don't really care that much about click between frames because I'm not in. I'm gonna say this. I'm not in the top playing community. The number of people. I will actually that isn't that true though, because you can use click between frames if you're using a 60 hertz monitor, and it would give you a clear advantage on
It's
like
amazing.
things like
Yeah.
insane demons and stuff. But the thing is, it like in my head, as I'm thinking about it. It's like unlimited, you know, like just between frames. Some levels can be buggy, and it can, you know, it doesn't work perfectly in its current state. So, like, I do think click between frames should be added to the game in its current state. I think it just needs like a little bit more work. But I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'm absolutely not gonna fault people for you.
Dude, it was crazy when it first came out, and I played Bloodbath on 60 hertz. I was like, whoa. Because I have a 240 hertz monitor, so you can see that.
Demon difficulties are earlier conversation, like between frames, and it would be nice if all of this was just in-game, so people could download it on their phone.
Should, but maybe not an equal playing field necessarily, because I mean, PCs will always just be definitively better. But I do agree that, you know, like there's like one thing in platformer mode which is being used as kind of like a meta gameplay mechanic in a lot of levels called orb boosting, where you like, as you jump, you do a double input and then an orb.
Because I'm a content creator and like time is key, right? So I dropped everything. It was like, okay, levels out. Sorry, wife, I gotta go do. Yeah, it sucks. And it was really awkward. Index finger just was numb. I just couldn't feel anything there, and I was like, oh, that's scary. Oh no, and like my wrist and hands were hurting a bit, and so like but when, and then I also there's a stretch or something. I actually did it for just 5 minutes. I was like, and I was like, okay, I was like, I need to like just ground myself a little bit. I just close my eyes, and it'll turn things around. But like maybe to get that good attempt, you just gotta take. Or Harambe came up in chat for some reason. Someone said, oh, like Harambe.
That's
and I was
a
like,
throwback.
oh, it is a throwback, yeah. And I was like, oh, that reminds.
I think I've heard of it.
I must have played it at some point.
Yeah, it's a rated level, and like it has this French song that's like this kind of weird song. Why? I don't think, maybe I was really near quitting, you know. It was just like there was thinking about quitting or pivoting to something else at certain times in my YouTube career, but I never like, I was never almost, you know, I always was a content creator for multiple things and only really started focusing on solely geometry after just the last few years. It's easier, making more money because I can put out like better, still recovering from a cough. I was coughing. It sucked.
Dude, my friend got, this is kind of related. Speaking of that tide thing I was talking about.
And we went to this like bigger city that was Edmonton. It had this big thing called the West Edmonton Mall.
It completely slipped my mind.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Okay, so for the fans, tell you what.
Oh, this one might be missing from the main. Alright, I'll sync the link. Okay, let's make sure I have like all that shit on screen. I gotta change.
I was at a Hot Topic, and they asked me for my email for rewards, and I was so embarrassed to say it out loud that I just spelled it all out, and that was the moment I was like, I need to do something.
It's been going pretty well, I think.
I'm in the same.
I think my last like main commitment saying people or whatever. That's honestly my favorite difficulty in the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, can we get?
You know, that part is sort of carried the brand recognition for that level, if you will. You know, I think to this day, like the keys are probably one of the strongest things that are associated with Minecraft. It's pretty funny to look back at that, how that game would be.
Yeah, that is like the most iconic part in the last like 3 years or something that I can think of in like any level.
Yeah, that's a big statement. But I mean, maybe
I'm sure you didn't expect that at all.
No,
Kind of
literally,
crazy to
the
think
amount
about.
Yeah.
I've seen whenever I've uploaded.
Yes! I actually did it. I
Like,
actually
well, over
fucking
the-
did
without
it.
It's
fail,
always
Yep,
the keys.
yep.
Yeah. Because people always
Like,
go
it'll be
back and
top
like
50
rewatch.
hardest
Oh
and they'll just
my
be able to
god.
peek at the keys.
I did
Yeah,
not
it's
think I
fun,
was
but
gonna
it's
fucking
also
pull
fun
through it,
to,
dude.
like, watch
Oh
people.
my
Yeah,
god.
that is, like,
I've been watching
amazing
Dasher, or
parts.
I've just been
So,
listening to the
Like,
Dasher
when I-
podcast.
When I designed
And
it, I wanted to
yeah,
make it
dude,
easy.
oh
What
my
I do is kind of
god.
like the end of, like, Extreme Gaming.
I cannot
Um,
believe it.
If you look at the original like
I
game
just-
interface on my
I just did it. It
it's pretty
took me
open.
5
It's not
hours.
a lot of corridors.
5 hours.
It wasn't until Minecraft decorated it where he like made the corridors like
4,884 attempts.
So I was hoping that like maybe people would die